Hi everyone, I'm back today to do a short review of basic trig. So the basic concepts we're going to cover today are Pythagorean's theorem and then sine, cosine, and tangent. So Pythagorean's theorem, if you remember, it's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, which refers to the sides of our right triangle. So we're only worried about the trig of right triangles right now. And then sine, cosine, and tangent. Which can be related or remembered by saying so, ka, toa, where so is sine of theta equal to s is sine of theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Cosine of theta, ka, is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. I think I said opposite over adjacent, sorry, opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, and then tangent of theta is opposite over adjacent. So quick example of Pythagorean's theorem, let's say a is equal to 12, b is equal to 5. What is c? I would say a squared plus b squared equals c squared, so 12 squared plus 5 squared is equal to c squared. C, then to undo that, I would do the square root of both sides. I'll rewrite it flip-flopped. So c is equal to the square root of 144 plus 25, because a is 12 squared is 144, b is 5 squared, which is 25, so c ends up being 13. Okay? And then a quick example of how to do finding some sides or finding the angle given different pieces of a triangle. So for our first example here, let's say that we know that our angle is 30 degrees, not 30 squared, 30 degrees. We know that our hypotenuse is equal to 35 inches. What's our opposite side? I would say sine of 30 is equal to the opposite side over 35 inches. And so if I take both sides times 35 times 35, then I would get my opposite side is equal to 17.5 inches. Now this is where I'm going to stop and make an important note that calculators must be in degrees. Calculator in degrees. Very important. Very important. 3 exclamation points. Okay? Make sure it's in degrees and not radians. Double check. Ask if you don't know how to do that. Okay? The other important piece is how do we find an angle? This is something that we definitely need to know how to do. And so let's say our angle, we don't know. Our opposite side is equal to 20 feet. And our adjacent side is equal to 60 feet. Okay, well now we're going to say opposite and adjacent are used with tangent. So let's say tangent of theta is equal to 20 over 60. How do I undo a tangent? It's not just multiplying or dividing. In our algebra, it's just algebra, but we have to undo it by using an inverse tangent function. So we say tangent inverse, and I'm writing this a little bit backwards. You do tangent inverse of 20 over 60 is how you would write it. And when you do that, tangent inverse of 20 over 60, then all you're left with is theta. Tangent inverse and tangent inverse of 20 over 60 gives you 18.43 degrees or so.